Good evening. Happy Thursday. So glad to see you guys here. Um, one more study of the Spirits book. We are already on question 102. Can you believe it? and today we're going to talk about the first, the uh, first five classes on the that comprise the third order, and we're going to start today with the 10th, which is the impure spirits, reminding that the third order comprised the imperfect spirits. So we have five on that one: the 10th, the ninth, the 8th, 7th, and 6th. When we move up to the second order, or the good spirits, then we're going to talk about the general characteristics, that like we did the last class about this one, and then we're going to get the fifth, the fourth, the third, and second classes. Of course, the first class moves us to the first order, the pure spirits. So let's start. You're going to be surprised. So much information on this. And we're starting now tonight with the 10th class. Let's see if we can do two of them. The ninth class is very small, but the 10th class comprises a lot of spirits, and you're going to see the definition of that. Reminding that these classes, as we spoke about three classes before when we were starting the subject and talk about that, there's not a line that divides them precisely. So it's like the colors of the rainbow that blend in between one transitioning to the other. So this is a way for us to understand better the classification and the evolution of spirits. So let's start today with the 10th class, impure spirits. These spirits are inclined towards evil and make it the object of all their preoccupations. So let's pause right there. So the spirits that comprise that 10th class, they are still attached to matter to a level that their intentions are to do evil. They're not inclined towards goodness at all. So, as spirits, they give unscrupulous advice. They incite bad advice when someone is already in a state of sadness or with some issues or some problems. Those would be the ones saying, yeah, life is not worth it, just yeah, this is not worth it, and advising them towards evil. So we have to be very vigilant with that. We all know that we all travel through different kingdoms, and we all travel through different classes of spirits, right? But we have moments that we're not vigilant enough, that we allow presences that are not willing to inspire us towards goodness. And this is what happens. We're gonna read here today, studying that 10th class, that those impure spirits, their existence revolves around practicing evil actions and inspiring others to do the same. They don't want to do it alone. No, they want to um, um, invite other spirits to join them on that. They're not happy, and they don't want to see the ones searching for light, searching for happiness. So it's sad, but there's still, God is so merciful that we've all been there, right? Preoccupied in doing evil. We still do things that are not according to what we know is the best, but we still try to live in light. We try to do good, to help others, to practice charity. these spirits, they do not know any better. They're still in that level that practicing evil is the only thing that they know. So we have to be very vigilant, because the spirits, as we know here in the spirits book, we're going to see that question, they inspire us more than we could ever imagine. They um, make things happen in a way that you would think it's you, but they are inciting you to do harm against yourself or against others. So incite discord, look at that, and distrust, and use all sorts of disguises in order to deceive more effectively, making sure that you think, no, this is just my thought. No, they are the ones inciting the discord and inciting that. They associate with individuals whose character is sufficiently weak to make them yield to their suggestions. So the person is already in a state of being frail or weak, as the Spirit's book says, and they're going to be more what? More prone to receive without any difficulty to their suggestions, and be led into misfortune. And they feel satisfied at being able to retard these individuals' progress by causing them to succumb in the trials as they must undergo. So they try their best to be around you and see you fail. And you're going to ask me, so Teresa, how do we protect ourselves against those suggestions? What should we do? One effective way of preventing this from happening is what? Prayer, right? When we are in prayer, when we start our days in prayer, inviting the good spirits to be around us, that prevents the access from them that want us to fail on our trials. Before anything is getting to know ourselves, because when we are in tune with ourselves, with our center, with the God within, then everything around us will have less of an impact. Less of an impact for sure. When you're so imbued of knowing yourself, of enlightening yourself, of becoming a better person, nothing around you that could be said or could be trying to move you from your goal. But we need to have that goal. We need to have that purpose in life. What is your purpose in life? When you're imbued of knowing that, understanding and following that path, you will create for yourself a layer of protection that those spirits will not be able to break. So you strengthen yourself so they're not going to have access to you. And they will try and they will try and they will try and they will say, yeah, this one, no, she's praying too much. Yeah, that one, no, he is really focused in learning more and becoming a better person. Yeah, let's try with somebody easier. And they're going to give up eventually. But you see that the person needs to be sufficiently weak to make them yield to their suggestions and be led into misfortune, and they feel satisfied in being able to retard their progress, causing them to succumb in the trials that they must undergo. This is very serious. When we see that, when we read and we understand that there are forces around us that are trying to make us fail in our journey, and we must be vigilant enough Pray and be vigilant. Orai e vigiai. We know that. But this has to be put in practice every day. Put into practice every single day, at every moment of a day. Sometimes it's the different moments of the day, right? We're marching towards winter here. There is less sunlight. It's cold. It gets darker earlier in the day. So, what is the tendency for a person that is solar, that is outgoing, that likes to be out? They tend to be a little more, like a little flower that is like droopy, right? And we have to combat that. I say that because I am like that. I can give my example here clearly. Spring and summer, easy to maintain a good energy level of energy through the whole day. Winter comes and you see it's dark at 4:30. You have to create the conditions in here, in here, to make sure that you can breathe through it. You're feeling a little down. Stop for a moment what you're doing. Say a little prayer. Pray. Pray, you know, take a good shower, do something that makes you feel good. Because when you're feeling good, these spirits will not be surrounding you for so long. They may try, but they will eventually give up. In their manifestations, these spirits may be recognized by their language. Trivialness and coarseness of expression among spirits, as among humans, is always indicative of moral, if not intellectual, inferiority. Their communications reveal the baseness of their inclinations, and if they try to fool us by speaking sensibly, they are unable to maintain these ruse for very long and always end up betraying their origin. I like this part because you can understand that very easy. I'm going to give you an example. Habit is something very powerful, right? When we have good habits, you create that routine and the habit kicks in like a clock. You're used to doing that thing. Language, the way you speak, says a lot about you. Your energy comes first, but the way you manifest with words in this world says also a lot. When you're talking to a person, and the person uses a lot of slang and a lot of cursing and is saying every little sentence there is a bad word within, that person, even if they try to do different in the first moment because they're so used to doing that same way, it's going to be hard for them. They're going to be caught and oops using it. When you train yourself to speak in public, there is the filling of the gaps that you have to try to eliminate. Ne, uh. And this is the same thing that the spirits are saying here. When the spirit is in that category, even if they try to fool us and try to put some varnish on that surface of that language, it's it comes through because it comes through for us too. When you're talking to a person, the way they talk to you, the way they express their feelings and emotions towards their words, is it indicative? You understand where they come from, if from a place of goodness or from a place of sadness or from a place of anger. It's all here. It's powerful. So the same goes with the spirits. It's not different. Certain cultures have transformed them into malevolent deities, while others have designated them as demons or evil spirits. During incarnation, they are inclined towards all the vices that are engendered by vile and degrading passions. So this is another thing. Our vices, they're like anchors. Our boat is trying to sail, and our vices are keeping us stuck. I remember I spoke one time at the Ponto de Luz, and the very first question I asked, how would it feel if you had to leave your house every day carrying a 20-pound bag of potatoes wherever you would go? You would go to work, carry the potato sack. You're going to the bathroom, carry your potato bag. Carry it all along with you. Would that be an easy thing to do? And it was unanimous. No. Would you consider doing? No. Would you want me to give you a big bag of potatoes so you could carry around from morning till down? No. These are your vices, our vices. They're keeping us from moving forward light. They're weighing us. It's like something that pulls us down, drags us down. And no wonder spirits from the 10th class, the impure spirits, they're full of vices. You name it, that's what it is. The more we get free of them, the less we need, the better we are. All the spirits that came to teach us very important lessons, and we can name so many of them. They didn't have a lot, but they had a lot. They needed very little. Paul was in the desert, fasting, praying. Jesus, Gandhi, Mother Teresa. They went with very little. They didn't need much. Even more have vices. So it's a characteristic of spirits from the 10th class. Lots of vices. Let's polish this off of us, right? Let's make this diamond shine, getting rid of our vices. They're inclined towards all the vices that are engendered by vile and degrading passions, sensuality, cruelty, deceit, hypocrisy, covetousness, and sordid greed. They do evil for the pure pleasure of it, most often without reason. And you imagine that someone that would take the time to just do it because they are happy seeing other people suffer. Aren't we glad that we can understand that and understand that we have been there, and understanding more that our God guarantees us that we're going to be pure spirits one day. We're moving forward. The law of progress, it's for everybody. But it depends on us how fast we go, how fast we're going to make that happen. So they do evil for the pleasure of it, most often without a reason. They almost always choose their victims from amongst honest people out of hatred for the good. So that hardworking person that is doing well and trying to just to fill their activities, they have sometimes the presence of these spirits trying to get them out of their way, out of their path of goodness. They are the true scourges of humanity, no matter what position they occupy. And any veneer of civility will not cover their dishonor and ignominy. So that is the 10th class. Question 103. We're going to have time because that is very small. Ninth class is the frivolous spirits. These are ignorant, It's a little better. Mischievous, inconsequential. And you see how important it is that we make decisions and we make choices in life and intention. Because when you are inconsequent and frivolous, look, you're surrounded by that category of spirits, inconsequential and mocking spirits who meddle in everything and respond to every question with no concern for what is really true. They love causing petty annoyances and little thrills, creating intrigues and misleading people into error through deception and mischief. So these are the ones that they see, right? I've seen that. We have all seen that. Somebody falls on the street, instead of just kneeling down and trying to help them, they're going to be the ones like, ha, 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 making fun of somebody's pain. These are the ones that belong to the frivolous spirits. I'm just comparing to the incarnated ones that would be similar to that, creating intrigues and misleading people into error through deception and mischief. To this class belong the spirits commonly designated by the names of hobgoblins, imps, gnomes, and fairies. They are under subjection to higher order spirits who often use them much as we use servants. In their communications with people, their language is often spirited and joyful, but almost always without depth. They seize upon human oddities and absurdities, which they comment on with sarcasm and satire. If they take distinguished names, it is more out of mischievousness than wickedness. So there's a little evolving on that category. They're not trying to do harm, but they get happy when they see that happening. They're ignorant. They're just like to make jokes. They like to see others. Um, and we're not going to go into that the description here of gnomes and fairies, because on that we could have another conversation just about this, because on this ninth class there is the little part that talks about that. We're not going to go deep, as long as we understand that within the ninth class are the frivolous spirits, the ones that are more ignorant and mocking spirits. They're not trying to do harm, they're just inconsequential. They just don't, they're not what we said before. They're not yet um, willing to live their life purpose, their mission in the path of goodness. They're still like kind of lost. And for that, it's a little step forward. So, next class, we're going to talk about the eighth class, question 104, the pseudo-learn spirits. So, these ones are the ones that pretend they know it, but they're still ignorant. So, we're going to talk about that on the next class. But just so we understand, which is so important here, this study of the classes is not something steady, set in stone. It's we're going to find spirits that have characteristics from one and the other, and they are transitioning in between them. But the most important for us to understand is that we are all under the law of progress, and we're all becoming better, depending on our choices, of course. We're going to get there faster or not. But the opportunity is given to us equally, because our God is supremely just and good. And we're all born created simple and ignorant. And our destiny is perfection to all of us. So, with that in mind, let's focus on having good thoughts, good feelings, doing the best we can, to fulfill in this present incarnation, which is such a blessed one, with so much opportunity to make that step conscious. We know what we need to do. So let's make that a mission. Let's go on that mission and accomplish more and more every day, doing goodness, thinking positive, strengthening our faith every day because everything is in the right place. Everything. Even when it sounds it's not, or it looks like, or it feels like, don't give up. We are on the way. We are on the path. And their example, the example we have to follow, we know, is Jesus. So he's certainly waiting for us to be in this march in progress, happy and healthy. So let's do our prayer. It's already 8:26. And thank God for the beautiful moments that we have every Thursday when we pray together and we study together. And Lord, help us this week to get rid of the things that don't belong in our lives anymore. Our vices, our uncertainties, our fears. Help us make good decisions every day and attract the company of the good spirits always by our good behaviors, thoughts, actions, and words. Bless us in good health for the week to come, for the days to come, in every single household that is now praying with us, and humanity. Thank you. Thank you for all the blessings that we have received until now. Be with us, Lord. So be it. So we'll see you again next Thursday. Thank you for joining us. Spread the word for your friends that speak English. And on Sunday, Ponto de Luz has the meeting in Portuguese at 12. We'll see you there and have a great evening. See you next week.